Hi guys, Rowan here, and today I am recommending some of my favorite fantasy books. Now for those of you that don't know, I love fantasy. I love dragons most of all, and I love epic sword fights, I love magic, I love mythical beasts, I love fantasy lands, I love medieval times, I love everything about fantasy. So picking some of my top favorites to recommend to you guys was really hard, but I think I've narrowed it down to some of my favorite fantasy books. Hey, sweetie. My little Misha dog is coming to say hello. This is Misha, my puppy. She also loves fantasy. Okay, so first on my list is going to be the Aragon series by Christopher Paolini. Now, I have to start this list off by letting everybody know that I have not read the Lord of the Rings books, which I'm horribly embarrassed of. I've got a really old copy over there that belonged to like my dad's grandparents or something crazy. It's really old. I just have not read it yet. So I've heard a lot of people say that these are rip-offs of Lord of the Rings and there's a lot of similar things. I have not read Lord of the Rings, so I cannot say. Aragon is about a boy, Aragon, who finds a dragon egg, and all the dragon riders have supposedly been killed besides the evil king Galbatorix. He is like the last one, but he finds this egg and it hatches for him, and he gets Saphira, his dragon, and they go on this quest across the land to try to learn what they can because eventually they're going to have to kill Galbatorix. The ending of the last one was horrendous. I'm sorry, it stank. But if you can make it up until then, the series is fantastic. I love it. It's got dragons, it's got magic, it's got all, all the different races, it's got elves, it's got dwarves, it's got a really evil bad guy, it's got lots of character development, and Aragon goes through lots of really cool changes, and it's got lots of cool, like, cultural aspects of all the different races, and I really like these books. Alright, the next book is The Amulet of Samarkand by Jonathan Stroud. I love these books. I got them as a present years ago from my parents, all three of them, and I didn't read them for forever, and then I finally picked them up and they are so great. Sorry for the glare on this cover. They're about a young boy that is like a magician's apprentice kind of, and he wants to be the best magician ever. So he conjures up this demon or genie or something. It's been a long time. Oh, genie, yeah. Bartimaeus, who he uses as like his slave to do things. And in this one, he kidnaps. He steals an amulet from currently the most well-known, powerful wizard of their time. And it is such a great book. All three of them are great. And it's great because you kind of hate the main character. Like, he's really well developed and you love him, but you kind of hate him because he's kind of an ass. But Bartimaeus is awesome. He is so cool and funny and snarky, and I really love these books. I think they're very underrated. The next book I'm going to recommend is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This book is really cute. It's kind of short, but it's so much fun. It's about a boy who is in love with this girl that's kind of a snotty biatch, and she tells him that he can marry her if he brings her back a falling star, or he promises that to her or something. So he leaves their town and goes and crosses over into like these magical lands where he meets a cast of funny characters and gets the fallen star, who is in the form of a girl. This book is really kind of a quick, easy, fun read, but this one is so much fun. You guys should really read it if you haven't. And Neil Gaiman is a master author. He is so good at writing. I love his stuff. The next book I have is A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I actually didn't read this until after I watched the TV show. I got the box set last year for Christmas. Holy cow, you guys. Okay. I love the TV show so freaking much, and the books are so good. They follow it so well, and these books are in different points of view. So each chapter is in somebody else's point of view because there's so many characters, but So good. However, I would recommend actually watching the show first because I tried to start these before I had watched the show and it was hard for me to keep all the characters straight because there's so many. So if you watch the show and then you have a face to put to the name, it's a lot easier, I think, to get through the book. And it's basically just about all these different houses like plotting against each other and war and fighting over the throne. And there's this girl, Daenerys, who's over on like a different continent, but she gets these dragons and she is so badass. Oh, it's so good. This is like a must read if you like fantasy. Alright, and then the next book I'm going to recommend is Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind. Goodkind? I don't know. Anyway, these books, I've only read the first two, but there's a whole bunch of them, like a whole bunch. And this first one is fantastic. It's about a boy named Richard, or I guess he's a man, sorry. I'm used to reading young adult. This man named Richard who finds a woman in a white dress running through the forest chased by these men. And they have magic, which there's kind of bubbles around these lands, and the one that he's in keeps magic closed away, and there's no way to cross into the other lands, but there's magic there. So she must have come across somehow. So he kind of is on this journey with her because he finds out that he's got a destiny and he's got an important part to play with evil shenanigans that are going on. I can't say anything without ruining it. The book is really great, and they're huge though. This book, I think, is it's 836 pages, but it's worth it. It's so great. Alright, and the last book is one of my favorite all-time fantasy series. The Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. I feel bad because I didn't get the pretty covers. Like, everybody talks about how beautiful these covers are, and I got like the mass paperback one from some bookstore. I don't know. But I might have to get the hardcover beautiful editions just because these books are great. It's basically about like this land where these people can do different things. They can burn like elements in them. I haven't read it for a little while. And it lets them do things. That sounds so vague. I'm so bad at giving summaries because I don't ever want to ruin anything. But there's this girl that's like a street urchin, and this rebellion brings her in because there's this evil, like one of the worst bad guys of all time, evil guy ruler, and they want her to help kill him, basically. But this book has such good world building, such good characters, such good political intrigue. And the ending of this series, I almost recommend this series to people just so they can read the ending of the series. It blew my mind. Like, twist of all twists, really. And the ending was so horrible and sad, but at the same time, it was really great. I sound like a crazy person, but I was crying and sobbing and laughing, and I went into like a 3-day zombie depression phase where the world was just not real anymore because this had ruined me. These are great. So, those are my fantasy recommends. If you have not read any of them, check them out. If you guys have any recommendations for me, please let me know. I am always looking for new fantasy books. I hope if you guys do read any of those, you love them and tell me what you think. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time.